How you doing, everybody? Welcome back. Monday, and it's raining. You got to stay tuned to the News Radio 1020 KDK, the AccuWeather. I knew I would have rain today because they told me so. And we've had a lot of flash flooding in the area as well, too. So please, for all of the always late-breaking weather and up-to-the-minute weather to plan your day and week ahead, you got to check out AccuWeather. I love what they do. And, you know, for years being in this business, whenever the weather was changing quickly, abruptly, and people needed to know, they would always very willingly come on the radio with me and do a live update. So big fans of AccuWeather. Now, I want to also say thank you to Linda Rossi, Troya, Dr. Vince Troya, Kim, and everyone over there because, you know, for a guy who has seen a lot of things in his life, my eyes are really good because of what they do. And I tell you, I have such respect for Dr. Troya and his staff. And let me thank Dr. Troya. He would appreciate this. Because of my eyes being so laser sharp, okay? I'm on my way home yesterday, and I saw this man in the distance. The Colonel, yes. And I stopped off and added to my bucket list. Come on, folks. You know there's nothing like some finger-licking good chicken. So, long day yesterday. I don't know even what time I finally wrapped it up last night, but so I decided to have a little chicken for a late night snack. And as I'm putting it back in the refrigerator to savor for another day, I did the whole finger-licking chicken good thing, and I went, man, that must have been one of the best advertising slogans ever. Whoever came up with that, they must have went, now that's going to be around for a long time. Think about it. The Colonel's been doing this for decades, and people are still saying, you know, it's finger-licking good, and they've got the $5 fill-up as well. And now, the chicken's good, the sides are incredible, but you have to admit, the biscuits, oh my. Very good. Now, speaking of very good, Jordan Spieth yesterday, I just want to add to this before we move on to some other things today, and I tell you what we're doing later tonight. He recently on a vacation in Mexico with friends and ended up running into Russell Wilson, you know, Seattle, the quarterback, and the great Michael Jordan. Ended up taking a picture with them, and when the ropes, basically, he was leaning on, okay, at the Open Championship, thinking, am I going to survive this? When things started to kind of spiral out of control a little bit, Michael Greller, his caddy, leaned over to him and said, you know, that picture that you took with Jordan and Wilson in Mexico, you really deserve to be there. You're that type of athlete. Jordan Spieth went, yeah, I am. And you know what? The soon-to-be 24-year-old, as of July 27th, 12 under, he wins it. Congratulations to that young man. That was just a spectacular day. You love to see stories like that. It makes life worth living. Good stuff. Now, Pirates, well, they were beaten yesterday, but they're still just a game under 500, 3 out. It's San Francisco tonight, around 10:10 in the evening, and guess what? As always, you can hear it. Chris Mack, Jack Zarinzik will get it started, 93.7 The Fan. Mr. Zarinzik, of course, from that great community of Newcastle. And so is Frank Augustine, Augustine's Pizza. Absolutely love it. My kids love it. And you know what? I love that guy, too. We've been friends for a long time. And when he's not bragging on Penn State, which I can understand, he went to school there. Great university. Always been a fan of Penn State. He loves to talk Pirate baseball. I love to talk pizza, but I let him talk Pirate baseball because he always brings me a couple of those pizzas. Anyway, tonight we're going to be at Jimmy Joe Savage's Legacy Studios. Bill Crawford unable to make it tonight, but I'll tell you a little bit more about Team Mojo tonight. But we will be talking Pirate baseball just a few days before the trade deadline with Frank Augustine. We're going to start a segment from time to time called The Fan, in which we're going to give people that are just fans an opportunity to do what I've been very fortunate to do for a very long time, comment on their favorite sports team. And tonight, Frank Augustine from Augustine Pizza, the pride of Newcastle, will make his way to Legacy Studios via the Comcast Sports Line, AT&T Sports Line, and he'll be talking all about the Pirates tonight. Also, we're going to be talking Steelers football with Chuck Greenwood. I've known Chuck Greenwood for, I don't know, 30 years maybe. And I've always admired his ability as a journalist. But, you know, back in the day when I was juggling so many things, including trying to put broadcast teams together because we were always doing sports on our AM and FM stations in Ohio, Mr. Greenwood would step in from time to time and do a wonderful job as a color analyst. And he knows sports and he loves the Steelers. And him and Jimmy Joe are going to be spending a lot of time at Steelers training camp. So tonight we're talking Steelers football. with Chuck Greenwood just days away before the rookies get to St. Vincent and the veterans show up and they, fasten up their chin straps and go to work. So that's all coming up later tonight. Now, Jeff Sessions, the Attorney General, again saying, look, I'm going to continue at this job despite the president who has said, and we all know, that he would have probably chosen someone else if he knew he was going to recuse himself from the Russian investigation. The president earlier tweeted beleaguered. That's what he said of Attorney Jeff Sessions. So that soap opera continues to unfold in the nation's capital. Jared Kushner, son-in-law and senior advisor to the president, well, an 11-page statement. He did have 4 meetings with the Russians, but he said nothing improper happened, and he never asked the Russians for any money to finance any of his businesses, and he's been fully transparent. And Russian sanctions. The White House press secretary, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, said the administration is on board, but Anthony Scaramucci, recently named White House Communications Director, State of the Union on CNN, said, look, the president is still considering it. And that story yesterday that we first told you about before I went on the air Sunday morning is starting to take an even more sad turn. 8 people dead yesterday, but now it's up to 10 and a whole lot more hospitalized, all about those migrants in that tractor trailer in Texas. And the driver has been identified as a 60-year-old man from Clearwater, Florida, and he is due in court later today. That story we're going to be following as well, too. Hey, folks, have a great rest of your day. You will not see me, that's right, in focus until later tonight at Jimmy Joe Savage's Legacy Studios. And by the way, just want to remind you that, as always, don't forget tonight, the Allegheny Health Network program, Medical Frontiers on News Radio 1020, KDK, with the incredible Dr. Gerald Pfeiffer. I will be back in the air chair tomorrow night, and we'll be talking law for the elderly in the 7 o'clock hour with Zachariah and Brown, and I have some other amazing things lined up for you, including some incredible nurses from the Allegheny Health Network in the 9 o'clock hour. They'll be joining me to talk about the job that they do that I have such respect for. And then in the 10 o'clock hour, it is 2 of my favorite people because they're just always paying it forward. Truly an amazing physician. He is Dr. Dan Patuch. He's going to be joining us to talk about the Pitt Dental School, along with Karen Schooley and their Mission of Mercy. I will not be able to be there this weekend because of family commitment, but it is going to be an amazing event and how they are truly giving back to people in need when it comes to immediate dental work. So we'll be talking about all of that tomorrow night. And of course, CBS Radio News, the AccuWeather forecast, all of the headlines, Post-Gazette and Trib and Facebook and Twitter, anything trending social media-wise, we will discuss it. That's tomorrow night. But until tonight from Legacy Studios, enjoy the rest of your day.